Welcome to the Daily Fox Fuel, where we train kingdom-minded creatives, leaders, and builders to become highly skilled craftsmen. Each episode is your spark of strategy, scripture, and straight-up truth to help you walk out your calling with excellence. Now let's get to work. Yo, morning foxes. Hey, today I'm going to hit on something that I think just fuels me up a little bit. And, you know, there's been this phrase that I do believe in, and it's all about, clarity is kindness. However, oftentimes I think we forget that it's about us being and giving clarity. That phrase is meant to be to the person speaking, right? The person giving the clarity. Clarity is kindness. And many times in our culture today, we actually use that as a term for others, as though others are being unclear, which is possible and very true. Many times they are. However, I'm wanting to shift it a little bit and ask yourself, maybe you should ask yourself, what is unclear? What do you need clarity about? Because maybe that most of the time, people speaking or giving context or direction aren't necessarily intentionally being unclear, but there's something not being translated over to you that you're missing. And you're possibly not asking the questions you should be to define clarity. So clarity is kindness, absolutely. But I think we all need to be the ones that fight for that clarity for ourselves. What are the things you need? What are the questions that you have? What does clarity look like to you? That's a big question right there. What does that mean to you? Because if truly clarity is kindness, then you being clear to others is you being kind. It's not about others being kind to you. You cannot control others. You cannot be over what they are doing. You cannot control how they are going to react and talk to you. That's not your job. Your job is to understand yourself enough, be aware enough of yourself to then go forward and ask for that clarity. What does that look like to you? You have to be clear about that. And clarity is not only kind, but clarity also beats complexity every single time. Oftentimes we go to the other extreme, right? Where we're trying to create a system, we're trying to create a process, we're trying to over communicate. And that just becomes really complex, which is also not kind. Complexity is not always effective. Sometimes we think these grand things that we build out are just these really amazing systems that really is just so complex or so overreaching that we can't even understand it. And we think that's clear. And it's just not. It's not effective. Marketing 101, clarity will beat complexity every single time. Your message, your call to action, what you're asking people to do. I can't tell you how many people, how many clients, how many team members I've helped coach and counsel and advise, where it's like, what are you even asking right now? What's the one thing you want someone to do? Then speak that. And it's crazy to me because we have this mentality of like, well, if I narrow it down, if I do only one thing, then nobody, it's like, no, what is the one thing you're asking people to do? What is the one thing you're asking your team to do? How can you make it so clear that there is zero complexity to it? In fact, I believe that complexity often hides the lack of clarity that we are trying to bring. Steve Jobs once said, simple can be harder than complex. But once you get there, you can move mountains. It is so extremely difficult. I've learned this in the businesses I've started and ran and moved. It's like simple is so much more harder than complex most of the time because you have to keep stripping it down, making it easier, condense, remove some things, add some things, remove more. It's just, it's a hard thing to do. And the best leaders don't overcomplicate things. We make the vision so clear that people can actually run with it, right? We've all heard this in Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision, make it plain, so that when they read it, they can run. That's so important to us as leaders. And I'm striving every day to do better at this because I often find myself not being clear in that. I find myself being so lost in the day-to-day and the complexities of things and the details that, man, maybe when I'm speaking or maybe when I'm asking, what I'm saying isn't clear enough. So today's challenge, where are you overcomplicating things right now? I want you to think about that. Whatever the first thing that comes to your mind, where are you overcomplicating things? And I want you to simplify the message. I want you to clarify the win. And I want you to let yourself and the others around you run with it.
Hey crew, before you jet, make sure you share this episode with a friend and leave us a rating. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, stay foxy.